Let's talk about banking. Huge issue these days. This presentation is called Finding Freedom with a Non-Banking Financial Institution. And we are presenting here the AltBank solution, as in banking alternatives. Why? People have had it with banks and bankers. The Know Your Customer requirements feels more like rape than an account application. And in some cases, it never ends. You complete the list that they give you, then they want more. You bring that, then they want more, and it's never enough. It's ridiculous. The banks are more interested in pleasing the regulators than they are the clients. And that's easy to see because clients come and go, but they're permanently in bed with the regulators. All right? That's a serious issue. They train everyone in the bank to file suspicious activity reports, whether it's required, meeting their threshold criteria, or not. They do this just for the bank's CYA practices. Surely you've heard that term before. In case you haven't, CYA is a highly technical financial term which basically means cover your ass. So all of a sudden, for doing nothing, you're on the FinCEN radar, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Thank you very much. The banks treat you like a criminal if you ask for cash from your own account. Go to your bank. Try to withdraw $4,000 in cash. See what happens. I've heard horror stories you wouldn't believe. Automatically, the FDIC becomes a part of the account application process. And that insurance benefit, federal benefit, requires that you give admissions and confessions to federal legal status, regardless of what your status is. So they suck you in to federal status by virtue of simply applying for a bank account as part of the contracts that we get roped into. The account requires a Social Security tracking number. For a personal account, this is more admissions and confessions. And the bankers will roll over, no questions asked, to unlawful seizures, garnishments, liens, and distraint without even blinking. They don't ask if this is a lawful process. They don't verify if there's an actual lien supporting the notice of lien. They don't verify anything. Again, why? They're in bed with the regulators. They have to wake up every morning and look that regulator in the eye. They are there permanently. Your concerns are not quite so serious. Oftentimes, they consider you suspicious if you send an international wire transfer. We live in a global economy. Everything is international now. But in the States, you want to be global, you want to do business internationally. Oh, we got to take an extra look at you. We don't know who you're dealing with. This is suspicious. Normal people don't send international wire transfers. That's their thinking. Some banks even refuse to do them. And this equates to capital controls. I've seen where Bank of America has simply refused to do international bank wire transfers for their clients. Go ask your bank, see if they'll do one for you. Be curious. It's getting worse. The disclosures of your data and activity make you a prime prospect for fleecing or worse. I mentioned being on the radar with FinCEN. What could possibly come of that if they start an investigation? Do you have money? Do you have assets? Is the government broke? Put two and two together. And they'll close your account down in a heartbeat, leaving you simply hanging. If that's the only account you have and you're trying to do business, sorry, you're out of business. They won't give you notice. They won't ask about something that they might have a question about. They do the safe thing. Close the account instantly. Without warning, without notice, without reason. So, if that's where you want to do your business, hey, more power to you. But we're talking here about non-banking financial institutions. So what is that actually? These are recognized by the World Bank, for example, as legitimate entities, and this is right off the World Bank webpage. Quote, a non-bank financial institution, NBFI, is a financial institution that does not have a full banking license and cannot accept deposits from the public. Key word there, public. Keep that in mind. However, NBFIs do facilitate alternative financial services. NBFIs supplement banks in providing financial services to individuals and firms. They can provide competition for banks in the provision of these services. And while banks may offer a set of financial services as a package deal, NBFIs can unbundle these services, tailoring their services to particular groups. Additionally, individual NBFIs may specialize in a particular sector, gaining an informational advantage. By this unbundling, targeting, and specializing, NBFIs promote competition within the financial services industry. And of course, competition is good for everybody. Brings costs down and value up. All right, so having a multifaceted financial system, which includes non-bank financial institutions, can protect economies from financial shocks and recover from those shocks. NBFIs provide multiple alternatives to transform an economy's savings into capital investment, which act as backup facilities should the primary form of intermediation fail. What is the AltBank solution? We're talking about a private, members-only NBFI, not available to the public. This specializes in alternative assets, such as cryptocurrencies, physical and virtual holdings of precious metals with easy convertibility, managing only trust accounts for its member group, containing or offering international multi-currency accounts in fiat currency, providing debit card access for liquidity, and full online account management for ease of access, tracking, and just general business operations. And of course, offshore holdings and management provide some significant advantages when it comes to security. So who would benefit from AltBank? Business owners seeking to protect and preserve assets and excess cash flow, family financial planners seeking long-term security and growth in appreciable assets, retirees who are seeking to preserve the value and longevity of their nest egg. Taxes, inflation, increased costs of living eat away at those nest eggs voraciously. Privacy seekers looking to finally get away from prying eyes would benefit. And American or other nationals who are not numbered or don't want to be and want to operate with a certain level of security and privacy. Independent-minded individuals seeking to take care of themselves. I mean, isn't that what life is all about? We each need to take care of ourselves. We don't need all these do-gooders trying to help us and protect us in so many ways that compromises our state of living. So how does this all work? First, you join the affinity group offering the membership. It's a closed group. It's not offered to the public. You learn how to operate from a business trust and why that would be beneficial for you. Have one created for your use and benefit and fund the trust. The trust then creates the portfolio desired for the intended business activity with the NBFI. The trust business manager logs in online to manage the account just like any banking account, can make transfers, make requests, communicate with administration, just like any online bank software would offer. It's pretty simple. All right, so you might ask, why alternative assets? You probably don't need to ask that question, but just in case, many alternative assets typically appreciate, or at least will hold their value as compared to fiat currencies, which, through inflation and monetary control and manipulation, are depreciating in value on a daily basis. Where would you like to have the store of your value? Inflation is a hidden tax, and we pay more and more each year on our fiat currencies, as our fiat currencies buy less and less and less. That's a hidden tax being taken from us. We can buy less each year based on inflation. So it's essentially taking away your buying power. Most alternative assets are not centrally controlled. You want freedom? What more do we need to say? And lastly, do this. Take out your New Testament in your Bible. Look up Luke chapter 20, verses 20 through 25. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know. All right, so you ask, but is this secure? How secure is it? Well, first, various checks and balances are built into the system, so there are always several transparent parties playing important roles involved in the management oversight. All right, that's first. Secondly, the legal structure itself provides for accountability and legal recourse, should it ever be needed. That's important. An unalterable audit trail of all account activity is created in the online account management system. Plus, periodic audits of all holdings and asset value assures the integrity of holdings and thus accounts. Then we have multiple layers of military-grade security and offshore hosting. Protects the online operations. And since Visa has approved the issuance of their debit cards, their approval and accreditation tells us something, that they are willing to associate with the cash account interfaces. All right, so that lends some credence to the entity. We're not operating in the bushes somewhere. The nature of assets held and the international diversification of holdings provides safety from the most notorious of predators. And we won't name names here, but I think you can read between the lines. Some people might ask, but is it regulated? My goodness. All right, you want government regulation? Go to a government-regulated bank. If you ask this question, then you've missed the entire point of this presentation, and you're probably not a candidate for this, okay? So don't worry, never mind. Thanks for your time anyway, and we wish you the best. Pretty simple, all right? So what else is there that you should know? Plenty. In the final analysis, this structure and opportunity is better than what is presented here, okay? But due to the sensitivity of those details, which are not disclosed here in this public presentation, and in view of the need to protect the privacy and activity of our members, those benefits are only discussed once you are a member of our closed affinity group. Okay, this is not a public offering. It's not available to the public. Go back to slide 2 and you might recall what we discussed there. There is a white paper available which goes into much more detail, and that will answer many questions. But again, it's not available to the public. To dig deeper into the matter, details are available, but only to members of the Lighthouse Law Club, and that would include either the Pathfinder membership or the Constitutional Commando Mastermind Group full membership. All right. For more on that, go to the webpage. So, hopefully we piqued your interest, and this is a major development in our war against treasonous and corrupt banking. Go to the Lighthouse Law Club, get more details. Thanks for your attention, and may God bless you with peace and prosperity. Take care.